The Death of Disease, Part 2. Now we have to really understand what the death of disease actually means. I did research and I came across a document from the Medical Association that showed that most humans, autopsies showed that they were all magnesium deficient. Every single one. Now, what is my point here? I'm going to make a strong point. And that point is the foods that we're consuming, I don't care what it is, it's Swiss chard, it's spinach, it's kale, it's lettuce, doesn't matter what it is. 98% of what we consume is artificial food. It is not natural. It is not stable in minerals or nutrients or enzymes. They are all products of industrial agriculture. In other words, humans bred these plants out with wild species and created the varieties that we have now. And because of these breeding techniques, it may have taken 100 breeds outward or 100 hybridizations going outward, or 100 crossbreeding techniques going 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, 90 years, 80 years, just to create all of these different varieties of plants. But the problem is, these plants have no relationship to the natural plants that they were bred from. In other words, these varieties that we get in the grocery stores and that we eat every day, the spinaches, the lettuce, the red leaf, the kale, the romaine, and all of these other plants that we believe are so nutritious, are very unstable in terms of nutrition, and I'm going to show you how. But let me indulge a moment longer. If you took spinach and you put it in the refrigerator, let's say on a plate, and then you went to a clean spring or river and you saw fresh watercress growing there, pick that watercress, bring it, dry the roots, put it on a plate right next to the spinach, leave it in the refrigerator, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, just watch it. What you're going to find is that the spinach is going to begin to rot. It's going to begin to turn into mold and then slime. That is an unstable plant because natural plant leaves do not do that in nature. Now let's look at the watercress. It's going to probably turn yellow and then dry up slowly and then wither up and just be shriveled. It doesn't turn into slime, mold, or rot because it is stable. Nature created it with a proper balance of nutrients, minerals, magnesium, iron, etc. Because remember, the central molecule of blood is iron. The central molecule of plants is magnesium. The natural plants that nature produces, not industrial agriculture that feeds the plant phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, it's feeding the plant those particular inputs into the soil because the plant is not necessarily going to have a balanced proportion of those particular minerals or vitamins or nutrients in it. So the farmers feed the plants those minerals, but the natural plants have them naturally. A natural plant has the ability to break down oxides or rock material into microparticles, and then they will digest that and turn it into the minerals that we consume as healthy minerals and vitamins and enzymes and so forth. But only a natural plant has the ability to do that, not artificial plants created from industrial agriculture. Go out in nature and sometimes you'll see this huge tree on the top of a rock. Guess what? That tree is slowly consuming the minerals in the rock. And long enough, there won't be any rock left because the tree is actually consuming it. You see, our bodies break down very fast because we're not taking in the right nutrients that nature produced. So a magnesium deficiency can easily be corrected by simply eating natural watercress from a spring growing wild, or lamb's quarter, or purslane, or dandelion leaves, or plantain leaf. The plantain leaves from the plant that we call plantain. It's not the fruit plantain, but it's another plant that's called plantain. By eating those plants, you will be able to correct the deficiency of magnesium that most humans in the Western world are suffering from.